Hello, my collective community. I hope you had an amazing Valentine's Day, okay? This is your daytime reading with your girl, Two Claps Oracle. And today's reading, they can't go with you. They cannot go with you, babe. Yesterday on Valentine's Day, I found myself on Facebook. I haven't had Facebook in years, but I created a Facebook so I can have a digital creator page. Please hit the link in my bio and like the digital creator page. When I didn't know once I got the digital creator page, in order to have it, I had to make an actual Facebook account. So I made a Facebook account and I added some people from home, some people from my undergraduate career, some people from my graduate career. And I ran across this young woman. And this young woman worked with me back in Houston in 2014. I was around her family. We ran track together. But believe it or not, when we ran track together, we weren't best friends. We weren't close. But when I got to Houston, her and I gravitated towards each other and we genuinely were hanging out every day or either talking every day. I remember having a dream after her and I had a falling out. I allowed her to come work with me. I had a company. It was called Net Soleil, which means sunglasses in Creole. I sold sunglasses and bathing suits. I remember I let her come work with me and I told her, I said, I don't think I should allow you to work with me because we are friends and I don't think you're going to be able to handle me if our wires get crossed in boss mode. So as a result, I go to Vegas. I was letting her run my site. She made a mistake, but looking back on it, I don't think it was a mistake. So I'm going to just say whatever I feel. She listed 3 of my sunglasses for the price of 1. And I would have never known about that if a young woman from my hometown who wanted to support me emailed me and said, hey, are you sure all 3 of your sunglasses cost 1 price? I said something to her about it and she kept cutting me off while I was talking. So I kept saying, can you please stop? I'm trying to tell you. And she wouldn't let me finish what I had to say to her. So she got upset and she hung up in my face. And I don't know who the fuck she thought she was. So because she was my assistant, she was working on the back end of my website. When I got back from Vegas and I tried to log into my site, I didn't realize that she had registered my site to her email and password. I entered the recovered email and password into back then it was the cartel, the big cartel site. And it said that it had went to her instead of me. Quickly, I realized, okay, she done registered my business to her, but she can't get any of my money because you had to go through PayPal. But she saw me request my password and she never gave it to me. So I went around her and I created another big cartel website and I began to sell my merchandise on that website. She must have seen that I ran around her and she tried to send me an email from an email address that you couldn't reply to. And she said, I seen that you were trying to recover your email. Here is the login information. I didn't need it. I say that to say this. The good times that she and I had on my behalf were fun. I had a great time with her. She was an amazing friend, an amazing mother, and I thought that she really genuinely liked me. But I realized that there are some people out there who just want to be you. It's not enough for them to be like you. Because after we stopped being friends, she went on to try to have a sunglass line, which failed. I remember having a dream about her some years later. It was an underground dream, and she was filthy. And I know God was telling me that she had always been an unclean spirit. But what baffles me the most about it is that I had a dream about her 2 nights ago because she came up on my Facebook page and she's extremely religious now, which is a joke. So I add her as a friend and we communicate a couple times. And all these years later, I dreamed of her again. And she was disgusting in the spirit realm. She was rotting. Her flesh was rotted. It had sores, it had bumps, whatever she's into now, and she believes that it's a religious organization. I'm going to tell you something. If God sent Moses to free a particular set of people, and those people fought him the whole way, were the reason that he did not make it to the land of milk and honey. They created false idols and false gods on the journey. It took them 41 years to make an 11-day trip, and the man sent to free them never made it. They were so weak that they wanted to turn around and go back to Egypt and be slaves after all of the miracles that God performed in the book of Moses. I'm not going to call them by name, because if you know the story, then you know what demographic I'm talking about. What would make a person go and pledge their allegiance to something, a part of the Old Testament, that cost Moses his journey? Like God wouldn't retaliate against that demographic of people. What I'm telling you is past, present, and future. Your season of being with people who you want to work it out with is over. After I had a communication with her, I noticed that she's lost. Spirits in deplorable conditions. But I had to go back and see her one last time. And then I was told to block her. That small, still voice said block her before she could try to identify anything that you have going on spiritually. Because to this day, she's still trying to find her way into my spirit realm. And it's too clean where I am. So I astral projected into hers, and that's when I saw the rotting position she was in, because she has aligned herself with a cursed people. Your past was all about shadow work. The reason you attracted those demonic entities, the reason you attracted people like I attracted, is because in the past, you didn't even understand spirit, and you didn't understand human. Spirit and human are not the same. The spirit exists inside of the human body, the animal in which God gifted us for our time on earth to make our purpose come true. He has essentially given you your own animal, and only you can control it. But he wants you to ultimately get to the point of that realization, because then being a human being is not as hard as we have made it. Why? Once you begin to do your shadow work and you again begin to affiliate the spirit with the body, you will realize that going through life doing what you want to do is the reason that you were in disharmony, the reason that you kept attracting unclean spirits, the reason that you believe, if only I had did this different, or if only if I had said this different, me and her would still be friends, or me and him would still be together. That's not true. You were never supposed to exist with them. See, there's a saying, when you know better, you do better. And during your shadow work season in the past, you have now understood that the spirit and the body are not the same. But if the body is in tune with the spirit, God is leading the way, and you don't have to think, essentially. Now, understand, in the Bible, it says faith without work is dead. But God ain't never intended for us to work this damn hard. We're working hard to be a gift. We are working hard to be the best human being when in reality, we are supposed to be working hard to train the human to listen to spirit, because spirit is guided by God. Your past of shadow work has worked out in your favor. But you cannot go back to those people who were with you in brokenness. See, when you met them in the past, in 2014, that is the most elite this woman is ever going to be. She does not understand shadow work. She would rather go and join the occult than have a free, open mind like the young woman I met in college. But sometimes when women start to pop out babies and they're desperate to keep a man that's doing all kind of sordid and repugnant things behind their back, they will go and try to align themselves with God, hoping that they can convince the husband to do the right thing. Your shadow season is over. Let's go back to this card. You are in the presence of manifestation. You are manifesting nothing but greatness. And they are manifesting nothing but repugnant spirits. They're birthing children from the wrong bloodline. They have went and aligned themselves with things that you cannot get out of. If you are a Christian and that's how you were born, stay there. If Islam or Hinduism or if Buddhism, if that genuinely calls your spirit, then that's the only time you answer. When it comes to religion, don't go trying to play in religions that you know nothing about if you weren't called. Why would a person leave Christianity to go play in a subculture of Christianity? Heed my warning. Don't go back to those friends who you miss and who you love. See, these are the people that because we are in a good place and we are happy, we're convincing ourselves that what they did to us wasn't that bad, and it was. Please listen to me. Don't go back to the people you met in darkness. The reason you had so much fun with them is because both of you were lacking light. Now you have light. They're still in the dark. They're unclean spirits. All they can do is bring thievery to you. An unclean spirit in the spirit realm is nothing but a thief. They want to see what they can take from you because they know that they have aligned themselves with something that they cannot get out of. Understand, once you go over there and play with the devil, the terminology in the human form, selling your soul, which really means in the spirit realm, you have went and aligned yourself, made a covenant with something that has nothing to do with God. And because we are lacking knowledge in darkness, we don't understand that there are just some things you can't get out of. I remember watching Tiffany Haddish. She said when she was homeless in LA, she signed a $1 billion contract to Scientology. Go look it up. And she's wondering why all of this stuff came out about her and now she's going in the wind. Want to know why? Because you don't know when darkness is going to come collect from you. She's on the height of her comedic career. She's on the height of doing about to be Florence Griffith Joyner in the movie FloJo. And she loses everything overnight because of a disgusting, nonsensical comedic video she did with a man laughing about pedophilia, never understanding that that very bitty video could have been the start of her demise, because spiritually she is serving out $1 billion a year contract with Scientology. What is a black woman doing in Scientology? Manifest in the right direction. Let me tell you about human beings. This is the psychologist in me talking, okay? When you feel happy and you are having a good day, those oxytocins and endorphin emotions in your being will direct you to go link back with people who you don't need to be linked with. Why? Because you feel good. They don't feel good. So when you go over there with all of your light and you go over there with all of your love, you're going to be met with disdain. Misery loves company. Misery doesn't want to be around somebody that's manifesting greatness. Let's get to this future card because I'm getting a little long-winded. Back from the same cards on Valentine's Day. Resistance. Resist the devil and he's going to flee from you. You need to resist the urge of going back to people and wanting to give them another try. I'm going to tell you how I know I'm talking to you. This woman stalks everything that I have, and she's never reached out to me. The last time we spoke was over email in 2016. We were trying to make up with each other, but that's when she had started her religious journey. She found out that I was living well and I was coaching track and field, and she was just stuck being a mother to a disgusting man. Popping out babies with no life of her own. Stuck. I knew then that the only reason we had spoke is because I reached out to her. People don't reach out to you because they know that there's no reason for them to be in your life. So people like us, the light workers and the life givers and the empaths, we will go and seek out old friends and situations that we no longer need to be involved in simply because we can feel their vibration, wishing they could be like us or rekindle the relationship with us. But why are you reaching out to somebody who's not reaching out to you? Resist the urge to go back to people because they are not who they once were. As a matter of fact, they are worse. I don't know who needs to hear this. Your past shadow work has gotten you to the point of understanding that the spirit leads the body and God leads the spirit. So you don't have to human overtime anymore. It's time for you to manifest your abundance. Walk by faith and not by sight. You should be like a toddler walking for the first time, finding anything to hold on to because God is leading you. Resist the urge to bring these people back in your life. Why? Because now they are connected to something that they cannot disconnect from. No matter how good their human intentions are with rekindling a relationship with you, the spirit is the one that operates the body. If a person with good intentions as a human being does not understand that the spirit does not have good intentions, that's a very dangerous person, because that is the person that wakes up one day and harms you. And when they go to jail, they tell God or they tell the judge, I don't know what made me do it. Something came over me. Yeah, it was your spirit. Heed my warning. We have already gotten to the season where we are manifesting greatness. Spirit operates the body. Spirit and the body are one. The body is the free will. The spirit is operated by God. Once you allow your spirit to operate the body and you listen to the voice of God, there is no need for you to go back to people who don't even understand they're operating out of demonic entities. And be mindful of people who go align themselves with religions that you yourself know come from the Old Testament. We don't even use that anymore.